Desiree, your turn, and then Mr. Valek.
I'm Desiree B. Carey from Desiree B. Carey Coaching, and I'm a return to work coach, and I help women with online accounts and digital assets. I have an online program called 21st Century Digital Estate Planning. It costs $386. And the people who buy it are women who have lots of social media accounts, online accounts, bank accounts with lots of passwords.
Our speaker today is the wonderful Desiree B. Carey. So just pop her in and me. All right. So here we are at Business at Breakfast at the 10 o'clock meeting. Every week, one of the members gets the opportunity to share with the group, to speak to the group and share with them further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The members can use this time to problem solve or seek assistance and advice from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. Today we have the wonderful Desiree B. Carey, and I have a little bio, a little bit about Desiree. So Desiree is a return to work coach, and she's dedicated to empowering women and helping them find their mojo, self-esteem and confidence to return back to the workforce after a career break or following life's challenges. The aim is not only to get her foot in the door, but to walk through the door with confidence. On the other side of that, as she meets these women who need help with, it could be doing courses to get back into the workforce, it could be going for the job that they're after. She's talking to them, or it could be that they've migrated from somewhere else and have come to Australia. However it is that she's helping them, she also talks to them about where they are and what they're doing. And somehow digital assets seem to keep coming up with her. And as a result, she's become a bit of a digital assets queen in regards to what do you do with this later on in life if something should happen to you, who has access. So based off that, Desiree, I'm going to let you tell us what it is that you do in this area and more about that, and then we'll have questions. You have up to 8 minutes. I'll do this at the 8-minute mark if you're still talking, which means, wrap it up, time out, wrap it up so that then we can ask questions. If you take less than 8 minutes, we'll just spend more time asking questions. With that, you can take it away.
Everyone for being here. I'm Desiree B. Carey from Desiree B. Carey Coaching, and I am a return to work coach, and I help women who have a lot of online accounts, for example, social media, bank accounts, investment accounts, and their digital assets. I have an online program called 21st Century Digital Estate Planning, and it costs $386. The people who buy it are women who have lots of digital accounts, online accounts, and have multiple passwords for all of these. How this came about? Well, as Misty mentioned earlier on, I meet a lot of women in my Return to Work program, and many of these women are going back to work because they've recently separated, getting divorced, children are in full-time education. They're empty nesters, newly migrated, etc. Part of getting a job is also including dealing with the overwhelm of starting a job after a very long time, a very long pause. And they need to get used to training. They need to get used to working with different accounts and software. And they are, getting used to also working online more and more. To do a training, they need to have passwords. To use software, they need passwords. To have a new business, they need lots of passwords. To have a website, they need passwords. And we all know that when anything you do online nowadays does require passwords. And you also need two-factor authentication. Now, you get these through email, the two-factor authentication, or 2FA, or via your phone, both of which also require passwords. Do you ever think about what would happen if you got really sick for a long time or you died? Our accounts need to be available to us. Of course, we have the passwords, we run them. But what happens who else can access these accounts if anything were to happen to you? in my process of helping these women to get back to work, this digital assets thing kept coming back again and again and again. And I've met so many people, so many women whose husbands were in hospital for a long time, or whose partners have passed away. And they had to navigate this craziness to try and see, how do I get into the accounts to pay the bills, to stop some things from some subscriptions and things like that. So they became a little bit, well, not just a little bit, plenty overwhelmed. So that's where I decided to create this online course. I did all the research necessary, and I did the course because it made sense, because I saw it happen again and again and again. That's why I believe in it so much, because let's face it, the majority of people don't know what to do with all these passwords and assume that if something went wrong with them, somebody else will take care of it. Their next of kin, for example. Well, they won't, because they can't. Even if you've been to a wills and estate lawyer and you've asked them to, you've done your will, unless you have a digital asset clause in your will, no one can access your online accounts. It's not possible. It's not legal. They cannot. So you go to the lawyer and they'll ask you, would you like to include a digital asset clause in your will? You say, yes. What do you want? And the lawyer said, I don't have time to explain this to you. Go home, get it sorted, come back, and I'll include this in your will. Well, the big issue is that those people will never go back to that wills and estate lawyer. And what happens is that you'll have a will, all your physical assets are protected or will be passed on, and the executor will have the right to do what he is supposed to do. But all your digital assets will not be accessible to that executor. It's locked up for good, unless you have that. What are the repercussions of not having a digital asset clause in your will? Is that your partner may be dead, your child, Lord forbid, somebody may be gone, and you open up your Facebook feed and you will see this person. Hey, it's little Johnny's birthday, or old Johnny's birthday, or Johnny's birthday, whoever. This could be really traumatic. And it could really set you up for a lot of grief when that person has been gone for quite some time, but their feed keeps reminding you about them. It could be that you cannot access the email or the phone because for the two-factor authentications. Scammers can get on the accounts that hold a lot of money and clean out these accounts because they know that this person has died. And there's nothing you can do about it. If there's any unusual activity on any accounts, for example, you're trying to guess what the password is, by the third time, that account gets locked. And then you can forget it forever. Why? Because you do not have any proof that you are the executor of that account. You cannot access it. You cannot access anything online, even if you have a will, unless you are named on as within the digital assets clause in a will. Thank you for your time, and thank you, Misty, for the opportunity of presenting today. I'm open to questions.
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Desiree. Yes, Marion's got questions.
Yes, you were talking. It's really interesting, very interesting actually for me. You talked in between about you developed a course. So what does that course teach?
Well, it educates you on what you need to do and how to set up to be ready for the digital asset clause. So where to put what, how to go about, so that when you go to your lawyer, you have everything ready when he asks you, do you have, he asks you, do you want to include a digital asset clause in your will? You say yes, and then you hand him over everything that you need included, and you're all sorted, and it will be included, and your assets are protected online.
Wow, because I did a will, but nobody asked me about the digital thing. So
because they don't have the capacity to explain it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question. Mr. Valek.
So two questions. One, this digital access, is this a universal thing, or because I live in the US, or is this an Australian thing? And then I have a second question.
It's international. You can go when you get your wills and estate, your will done. You just tell your wills and estate lawyer you want a digital assets clause included, and as long as you set up everything, then he will do it.
And then my second question is, can my estate continue causing havoc and whatnot after I'm gone?
Sorry, I don't understand your question. Perhaps we could take this on offline. I don't understand it.
Well, he might.
After I'm gone, I'm going to have my estate continue sending emails, sending stuff, and scripts will continue.
That's correct. If you don't have a digital asset clause to get someone to activate, to shut them down on your behalf, yes.
Oh, cool. All right, watch out, people. But, hey, I got stuff to do. So
I'm suddenly
I'm
with
still
you,
gonna be
Mr.
here for
Valek.
a while, so don't worry about it.
I'm suddenly with you, Mr. Valek. Hang on a second. I could set up things and just cause havoc all over the place. This would be all right.
That's another way to look at the
And your
protection.
service.
What trouble do I want to cause? Sean, I'll get to you in a second. Stuart's first and then you, Sean.
Helen was first before Stuart, actually. Sorry,
Oh.
Stu.
Okay, Helen first and then Stuart and then Sean.
I think digital, that would be a little bit of payback to people, wouldn't it? So what does digital assets, what does that term include?
Anything that's online.
Anything that's online?
Well,
Okay.
anything that's online that has value, and value means different things to people. And that's something I also educate everyone on the online course.
It's a bit scary, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. The average Australian has up to 300 online accounts, would you believe?
Wow.
And they
That's
tell you to
huge.
get a different password each time. Well, I don't know. Makes no sense.
Mm.
Stuart.
Thank you.
I know.
Sorry,
I
Stu.
suggest have all the same passwords so that when someone hacks you, they can hack you all at once. No, don't do that. No, fantastic. Everything you've mentioned there, amazing, Desiree. And this is the thing. It's a thing that people don't think about. I always think about it because that's what we do. But that's why Desiree is here as well, to remind everybody, take care of everything, because if you're not here, no one else can. And Paul, if you're going to digitally haunt everybody, I think that's brilliant. I actually heard Mr. Beast. I don't know if you're familiar with Mr. Beast, who happens to be one of the biggest presences online as well. He's got YouTube clips scheduled long after he's gone as well. so he will be continuing to perpetuate as well. But yes, take care of everything online, because that icky moment, and I've been through that myself with my auntie-in-law. We couldn't find a thing, and we had to go through and unpick where everything was, and it caused massive delays, massive stress. You just want everything to be easy. So there we are. Well done, Desiree. Fantastic presentation. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Paul, the term is called digital ghost. After you become the digital ghost.
All right, great movie for everybody to watch. Watch The Beekeeper.
Diane, sorry, Diane has a question.
Yep, I'll get there in a sec. So I'm in charge here.
Go on then.
Watch
You're
The
the queen.
Beekeeper. Just for losing all your money through a bank account, through a scam, watch The Beekeeper with Jason Statham out at the movies at the moment. If you missed it at the movies, just keep an eye out, and it'll be a few months, and probably by Mother's Day it will be available on DVD. But it shows you the back end view of how the scammers set up. It's a bit like the Wolf of Wall Street, how they set up their rooms to go after the stuff. And my mum got she got scammed only out of $900, accidentally shut down her
I
account.
bet you he's archaic. I bet you he doesn't know.
So yeah, so I would suggest that's a good movie to watch. All right, I noticed Sean had his hand up, noticing more hands going up. I'm watching the time, so he's super fast. Sean, you had your hand up?
Yes, I'm just wondering, for an artist who has assets in the forms of books, movies, music, and everything that you can think of on this planet, you would need something bigger than a clause, wouldn't they?
Now, what you do is that's what my the online program talks about, how to
Mhm.
protect that. And
Mhm.
the digital asset clause basically names the beneficiary of the
Okay.
executor who will be acting on the behalf, but then you write
Okay.
what you want to happen to it.
Yeah.
But you will need to have that clause in your will so that the executor can act on your behalf.
Mhm.
What you have in there is up to you. That's what the education, the online program
Mhm.
educates you about.
Oh,
Okay.
Prince should have met
All
you
right.
before he died.
Okay.
Or at least
Not
Prince's
just, it's not
name.
about how much, how little, and how diverse. It's basically how to protect it so that it can go to whom and whatever you want to happen to it will happen to it. But no one can do that unless you have that clause in your will.
Yes, it's like the Tolkien estate, that the responsibility has gone down from generation to generation. So it's a similar idea. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you. Diane, you've got your hand up very quick, and then Joanne.
Yep, very quick. Desiree, how long is the course and how much?
It's $386 Australian dollars, and it's done in bite-sized pieces so that you can watch it, listen to it. There's videos, there's downloadable resources. So it can take as long as you want because you have it for you for a year, and if you want extension longer, but it will educate you step by step what to do. It gives you lists and things like that on how to put the whole thing together so that you understand it's not just over your head, and you don't have to be techie. It's for your average human being who is not techie. I'm not techie, so I don't answer any techie questions, but I would refer to you to someone like Stuart to help you with the techie stuff if that's what you need to set up certain things. But it's more from one person to another, and it's in bite-sized pieces.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. And Joanne, last question.
Desiree, is there a time limit on it? Does it last as long as your will, or do you can you update it separately to updating your will, that sort of thing?
Well, if you already have a will, then you go and tell once you watch the education program, then you go, you have everything ready, you go to your wills and estate person, and then you say, I want my digital asset clause included. Here are the things. And you hand it over to them and they'll gladly do it for you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you so much, Desiree, for being our speaker today. And thank you, audience, for your questions and participating. Lots of great information there. So if you have more questions of Desiree, just ask for a one-to-one. Her contact details are in the chat box. And she'll be able to answer those, and also all the details of the courses there too. So you can just click on it to have a bit of a read through as well. So thank you so much.